Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, a very special WrestleMania edition of Universally Speaking. In this episode, as always, we will be running through each and every match on the WrestleMania card, so make sure you leave your predictions down below and have notifications on and are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a second. But let's have no further delay and jump right in. We're kicking off proceedings with the pre-show, which is stacked with two title matches, the first of which will be for the television championship when Hideo Itami challenges Pete Dunne in what could easily be the most hard-hitting contest of the night. Dunne was looking for a challenger and approached Shane McMahon about a big-time opportunity at WrestleMania, and that's exactly what he got in the form of Itami. This one is sure to get the crowd rocking early. Also on the pre-show, we'll have an exclusive match highlights package of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where every participant has the opportunity to earn either a United States Championship match or an Intercontinental Championship match, depending on the brand they're on. A huge chance for someone who might be struggling for a prominent spot on their brand to take the opportunity of a lifetime. The next title match on the pre-show will be the showdown between three savvy veterans of the industry when Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn and Bobby Roode all face off for the European Championship. The champion Bobby Roode won the title in very controversial fashion when he had his feet on the ropes for the vital pinfall on Sami Zayn. Well, Zayn, he wants his rematch, and that he is owed, which is all well and good, but it's the case of Chris Jericho that really has people talking. Jericho came out of nowhere to attack both men and stated that he belongs at WrestleMania, and instead of asking like everyone else, he would just simply take his spot at the biggest show of the year. So with the European Championship at stake and the pride of all three men as well, this promises to be one hell of a battle. We start the main card run through with the breaking news that at the request of Braun Strowman himself, the match with Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship will now be anything goes, no disqualification. Strowman said that he wants to go to the biggest stage of them all and literally throw Jeff Hardy off it and rid the WWE of the enigmatic enigma. Strowman and Hardy's saga began all the way back at the Royal Rumble when Jeff eliminated the Monster amongst men and himself in a stunning return. Strowman naturally didn't take kindly to this, and the Intercontinental Championship being on the line only makes this match more exciting. Now we move on to the coveted 6-man Money in the Bank ladder match. The match that for the winner almost guarantees a World Heavyweight Championship. The 6 men involved, Tyler Breeze, Luke Harper, Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole and Andrade Cien Almas, have a legitimate claim to win the match, as it's all of these competitors that are unquestionably the future of the industry. This match promises to be one of the most chaotic and on paper certainly looks a lock to steal the show. Who will come out on top? Let us know in the comments. The next match that we're going to cover is the deeply personal battle between Drew McIntyre and Olympic gold medalist and Hall of Fame legend Kurt Angle. Angle was coaxed out of retirement by a series of threats and insults from McIntyre after it was Angle who eliminated McIntyre very late in the Royal Rumble after Angle was the number 30 entrant. This rivalry got personal very quickly, and Kurt Angle isn't shy of bringing the fight, and he will be the toughest opponent to date for the Giant Scotsman. We now move on to yet another title match on this massively stacked card when John Cena takes on Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. Cena has been through a real rough patch of late and is getting desperate for a big win, which he has been able to do in the past to keep himself on solid footing within the WWE. He has claimed that Nakamura is overrated and nothing more than a cool entrance and a knee. Nakamura, though, will be looking to prove the first ballot Hall of Famer wrong when the Japanese megastar stands toe-to-toe with the biggest star in the company. So now we'll touch on the biggest challenge to date for the Authors of Pain. The AOP have been totally dominant since joining forces with Triple H and co. and donning the famous DX green. Well, they've held the tag team championships almost longer than any other team in the last year and do not look like losing it anytime soon. But, and this is a big but, this tag team gauntlet will pit them against a horde of teams that are also hungry for the gold and unquestionably test the two giants. They will start the match against the first opponents as picked by Shane McMahon and JBL, and thereafter the loser of each match is eliminated and the winner stays on until there is only one team left standing. This one has the potential to upset DX, who are in for a very big night. And that big night culminates when Triple H, Big E and Shawn Michaels take on the Shield in a 6-man tag match for the ages. This all began with Triple H and Seth Rollins coming to blows after Rollins refused to continue using the pedigree as a finisher and cut all ties with the man that claims he made Seth Rollins who he is. Rollins and Triple H's issues go so deep that the cavalry of both men were called in to assist with this personal war, and it comes to a head when two of the most dominant factions of the last 10 years collide in a match that will have fans all over the world with their mouths watering. We now move on to a very special one-time only event that is a WrestleMania first, when we head on location to Tokyo, Japan and the world famous Korakuen Hall for an epic showdown between two men who built an incredible legacy in this very building, AJ Styles and Finn Balor. This rivalry is the very definition of personal, and it's such a fitting place for this war to come to an end. This is where the legacies really took on legendary forms, and it will come to a legendary conclusion when the two collide in Tokyo. And to make it even more special, your special guest commentator will be the one and only, the world famous Delzinski. This promises to be a very special and unmissable part of the show. Another intriguing battle that will take place will be the match between Chad Gable of Elite Sports Management and the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. Gable cost Wyatt his rematch for the World Championship at No Way Out against his mentor Apollo Crews, which turned out to be somewhat of an initiation for Chad Gable and essentially proved himself to Eric Bischoff, Apollo Crews and the brass at ESM. Gable was handpicked to represent the brand, and Wyatt has a vendetta against the entire organisation and will look to extract some revenge on Gable and therefore Elite Sports Management when these two do battle. The next match is arguably one of the most anticipated of the entire show, when darkness will fall over Philadelphia. Alistair Black goes one-on-one with the legendary Undertaker. This match is a dream match for a lot of people who never thought they would get to see it go down, and Alistair Black was on the verge of winning the WWE Championship from the all-conquering Rusev when the infamous bell tolled, and the Undertaker was there to shut down any chance of that happening. It would seem that the gatekeeper of the WWE is standing in Black's way as somewhat of a litmus test, the Undertaker seemingly saying that before you think about any kind of championship, you need to prove yourself on the toughest and grandest stage. This match could be yet another contender for Match of the Night. We now move on to the real business end and the first of 3 major title matches when Emma enters Hell in a Cell against the unpredictable and incredibly dangerous Nikki Cross. Cross has literally torn through every single potential contender for Emma's championship, seemingly just to get to the champion. Cross was behind all of the backstage attacks that was initially pinned on Emma and the Iconic Trio, but as we found out now, Cross was the culprit all along, and the attacks didn't just stop with the superstars. Even management was in the firing line when Stephanie McMahon was driven into a power box backstage and hospitalized. Emma is the only one left standing to potentially eliminate the threat of Cross. Can she do it, or will chaos reign over the women's division? We will have to find out. Now, we move on to the first of the two monstrous World Championship matches, and we'll begin with the World Championship of SmackDown Live, or as we should say, the ESM Championship, after it was redesigned and named by current champion Apollo Crews. There is no more personal rivalry than this one on the entire show, with Crews and Lesnar's battle stretching months and months. Apollo Crews has poked and prodded the beast on numerous occasions, and the feud has reached a fever pitch. Brock Lesnar has never been able to hit an F5 on the Elite One, and Apollo Crews will need to do absolutely everything in his power to avoid it. Lesnar, on the other hand, has constantly been topped by Crews, who, whether you like him or not, he has been able to get one over on the Conqueror on almost every single occasion. This one promises to be tense, hard-hitting, and certainly has combustible written all over it. The final match we're going to cover tonight is the epic contest between Kevin Owens and Rusev for the WWE Championship. This match has several factors that will make it completely and utterly can't miss. Not only is it for the world title of Raw, but it is all about pride and the bitter hatred between all parties. Owens was fired at the hands of Shane McMahon many months ago, and it took Owens winning the Royal Rumble alongside Brock Lesnar to get him to this point. It's been do or die for Owens over the last 3 months, and this match is absolutely no different. Rusev is undefeated since becoming champion and has torn through all competition ahead of him. This match does, however, have a dark cloud looming over it in the form of the aforementioned Shane McMahon, who despises absolutely everything about Kevin Owens, even going as far to ban Kevin Owens' family from even being in attendance, and also has a restraining order against the Canadian. The deck is certainly stacked against Owens, and this will no doubt be the toughest match of either Rusev or Kevin Owens' career. It's for all the marbles, all the pride, and promises to be emotional and a hell of a fight. So that's the card, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure notifications are on and you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a second of WrestleMania. Also, make sure to remember to get all your predictions in down below, and stay tuned for the official release date and arena reveal, all coming soon. It is just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. WrestleMania is finally here. But until then, for MerceYT13, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at WrestleMania.